Story time, because I really love the mood lighting in here. So, make it a little bit more dramatic. I'm going to tell everybody the story of the kid, my daughter. I've told this story a lot, obviously, because a lot of people don't know, and then they're like, oh, well, you get her all the time, huh? And I'm like, yeah, kind of. You know, I kind of have full custody of her. Way back in the day, I met up with her egg donor, and we were in a relationship. Lasted, I don't even know how long it lasted. Regardless, we were in this relationship, and she ended up pregnant, and, you know, whatever. We were still together. So, fast forward, you know, through all that baby bacon stage, Alex was born. Alexandria Elizabeth Falk, 5 pounds 7 ounces. She was a runt. There was a lot of shit going on that I didn't notice, and one day I was off of work, and I'm sitting there with the baby, and she was probably 2 months old or so. And we were at the apartment where me and the egg donor and little Al lived. And I get a phone call from the egg donor's mother. You know, she was in jail. And I was just like,
fuck this shit, I'm out.
Okay, so what do I do? What's she in jail for? Well, apparently she's a pill addict. And has been for quite some time.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks.
Okay. So now I'm really like,
don't mind me, I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please.
So, about 3 months old, 4 months old, you know, like, we moved back to Bedford from Bloomington. I didn't know what was going to happen. I really didn't. Like, she gonna straighten up, she gonna get out, and like, we're done at this point, because I can't tolerate that shit whatsoever.
Name was Little Bo Peep. Started hitting the pipe, had to sell her sheep. And not to mention my freak, her name is Red Riding Hood. She smoked primos cause she thought it tastes good. What about the wolf in this fairy tale? He OD'd on coke, died and went to hell. Old gray hair granny ain't here no more. She OD'd on M from 4.
She gonna get out, she gonna clean up, and then no more Alex, you know. And I remember it being close to Christmas, and I was like, well, I'm not going to be a dick, so I'll take Alex up there to see her mom. She'd got out, her egg donor, I don't even know why I called her mom, but egg donor was living with her mother, and I was like, I'll take her up there to see the family and everything like that. And I get up there. Let me just pretense this next part real fast. Not all of her family are bad people. They're really not. There's some good ones in there, and some that I keep in contact with, and that, you know, they've seen Alex grow up through social media or whatever. But it was her grandma was there, and her mom was there, and the egg donor was there. It was at the egg donor's mother's house. So it was like 3 tiers of matriarchal horror for me. And I'm going there, everything's cool, here's the baby, you know, like, and I'm kind of supervising it, but I don't really have any right to supervise nothing, you know. So, but I'm hanging out because the plan was I was going to leave and Al was going to come home with me, you know, that's what it was. And they all cornered me, all right. And basically it was like, Alex is staying there, we're going to get custody, and this is how it's going to be. Now, there's an old saying about you don't become this peaceful without being really violent. And that just kind of shot through me like you wouldn't even... I can't even describe the feelings I had when I left that house with my kid in the house and them giving me so much shit about it all. Come home, freaking out, and next morning I went and filed for emergency custody. Now, it's not instantaneous. Obviously, a lot of people went through it. It just doesn't happen like that, you know. So there's like a week-long period where I am stressed out more than I have ever been stressed out in my entire life. Just because I don't know what's going on or anything like that. And it was close to Christmas. It's now even closer to Christmas. Well, one day, and this is before the custody thing had even passed, okay? One day, Egg Donor's dad calls me, and he was like, hey, come pick up Alex because dumbass is back in jail. Those were his exact words. I'll never forget them. And, you know, part of me was like, okay, all right, I'll do this. And another part of me was thinking, this is some kind of a trick. It's a trap. Something's going to happen. You know, like I'm going to end up getting in a fight with one of her brothers or something like that. So I got a couple friends that went up there, and no, she was in jail again, you know, the same shit.
The drug bug will get you, it'll make you shy.
So me and Al got into the car and we left. Now fast forward, the custody thing finally goes through and all that stuff, the emergency custody, mind you. And, you know, I'm petitioning for full custody and whatever else. So fast forward to about 9 months old, I believe. I get a phone call from the egg donor because she's out again, and she's crying on the phone. And I'm like, well, what's your plans here? What's going on? And she was like, I want to sign my rights away. And we hear about people signing their rights away all the time. Mostly guys. Because, let's face it, most guys are pieces of shit. That really are just in it for the making and not the baking and raising and all of that good stuff. And that's sad as fuck. And if you're one of those types of guys who are just like completely whatever, get the fuck on, you know. It's I can't imagine what it's like to sign your rights away. But she did it. And I was dumbfounded by the whole thing. Just straight dumbfounded. Like, how do you do this? You know, but she wanted to do it. So next day, went to the lawyer's office, got the papers all signed up, drawn up, whatever you call it, and met her at the Dollar General in Olytic. And she signed her rights away. So that was the last time that I have seen Alex's egg donor. So for the past, let's say 10 years, this little turd has been the most integral part of my life. I've learned a lot from her, but this kid has completely and utterly changed my outlook on life. Especially since this last relationship went tits up. She has been like the strongest, coolest individual in the world, keeping me on my toes to keep my brain clear of everything. And, you know, maybe 10 years down the road, looking back at all of this stuff, 15 years or whatever, you know, she's grown. I seriously couldn't have done it without her in any shape or form. So, ending this, I would like to thank her egg donor for being a worthless piece of shit. Probably shouldn't say it like that, but Yeah. Anyways, I'd like to thank her for being the way that she was, because had she not, had it just been a regular joint custody or whatever, my life would be a lot different, if I even had one. But they grow up, and Alex is growing up now, and I noticed it the other day. I made a big post about it. And I just hope and pray that she always remembers this stuff. You know, the fact that I am an asshole, but I'm a really cool asshole dad. So that's what I hope for. And she's becoming an amazing young woman right now, and it's choking me up a little bit, not gonna lie. So, all in all, that little girl has been worth every one of the gray hairs that I have, and will continue to be until I'm put in the ground, or however I decide to end up. I've thought about becoming a tree or getting blasted off on a rocket ship, so who knows. Anyways, that's going to do it for story time. And she's got some pretty amazing friends, and I'm just glad there is this whole support system that we have. And if you're a parent that's a little shady in your kids' lives, you're kind of wishy-washy, don't know which way to go, be in them. Because it's just something that you're never going to have again. All right, I've got almost 2 seconds left.
Hardhead kids who want to gain fame, selling crack to another's not the name of the game. So hardhead kids, you don't understand. My rock box is in command.